Okay. We're going to talk about the opera. Yeah. So, Skull and Shackles is my pirate game. It was originally based on the adventure path of the same name by Paizo back in the Pathfinder days. It was a pirate campaign. You did pirate stuff. I kind of tried to cash in on the, Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, that sort of thing. It was, you know, it was a pirate campaign. There was some cool stuff in it, but the longer we played it, the less interesting the story became, and the more interesting our own story became. I think a lot of campaigns end up like that, if I'm being honest. We made an agreement as a group that we would play a more homebrew-centric version of the game. So character-driven. They're level 9 now, so the rest of the campaign is all going to be character backstories. Critical Role style. So everybody's got a character backstory. We're going to resolve their backstory. It'll be fun. It's a lot of work, but it'll be fun. So it's a lot of work, right? One of the guys is playing a cat named Django, based on the character from the movie of the same name. He is an escaped slave. There's slaves in pirate land. That's just how it is. Pirates ain't nice. So he escaped. He wants to come back. He wants to get revenge on the bad man who did it. None other than Leonardo DiCaprio playing as Calvin Candy. Because honestly, I'm just a hack writer, and I just do, I just don't even care anymore. So yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's just straight up Leonardo DiCaprio is the bad guy. So what I did is I was like, you guys will have this whole island to explore, Candyland, right? It's not just a plantation in the south, it's an entire island that I've filled with amazing things for you to do and see. Okay, so yeah, there's all these different locations on the map. I made this map myself in Incarnate. I got special gunplay rules because we're going to be like Django Unleashed. We're going to be getting criticals on the 18 Nitro 20. It's going to be amazing. There was like a whole section here with like rock people, indigenous like crystal people, and then there's like spooky ghosts over on this peninsula over here. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Prepping for this miniature sandbox was a lot of work. I put in a lot of work to prep for this, and my understanding from the players was that they were going to journey to the island and then go to the Oasis, which is like a resort for rich, evil pirates, and they were going to kind of start exploring the island from there. So I prepped for the Oasis. I made, I went and found a hotel map, and I dynamically lit it, and I got it set up, and I planned who the owner was, and I planned who was running the different amenities like hunting live prey in the jungle, the prey being slaves. I mean, again, this is evil people. And my pirates are good pirates trying to stop it. A lot of prep, a lot of stuff. They show up for the night that they're supposed to go to this big, huge, see, the 1, 2, 3 different maps. That's how big this hotel was, plus a jungle map to go hunting in. 5 minutes into the session, they're like, actually, we probably should do something else. And then I'm like, here it comes. And they're like, what if we pretended to be an opera theater troupe? Because we have had an opera adventure before. And one of the characters has a twin brother who's a famous opera singer. And then he had to impersonate the opera singer because the opera singer was being targeted by a giant awakened octopus pirate lady that wanted to steal him. Anyways, it was a whole thing. So they're like, yeah, let's do a callback. We'll pretend that we're opera singers, and that will get Candy's attention, and then we can kind of like go from there, because we'll just draw them out with our amazing opera performance. So the captain's a bard. Okay, they got an artificer. They've got, spellcasters for special effects. They could pull this off. While they are excitedly giggling and planning out their opera, this guy right here, the guy that's talking to you right now, he is going and trying to find, in his huge collection of maps, a theater house, which I managed to do. Thank you, Heroic Maps. This came out just last week or a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I'm downloading this thing. I'm like unzipping it. I'm throwing it in here. I'm throwing together dynamic lighting as they are planning their opera. It is a whole thing. I get this thing done just in time, and then one of the players sends me this that they were photoshopping while I was working on the opera house. Incredible. Okay, so I'm not going to be like, no, I prepped the hotel. We're going to the hotel. I'm like excited to see what they're gonna do, and then they drop this like, billet poster on me. How am I supposed to say no to that? So, all I did for the opera was it was all effort, A for effort. Like they try their best. It was all improv. Everybody was just kind of going with it. I would ask them what props they would need. I would just throw props in there. Oh, you need some trees? We'll throw some trees. Oh, this takes place on a ship. I would just go to here, the gallery, and I would just grab a ship and just drag it right onto the map, and they would have a ship. Like, I was just, whatever they said, they were in charge. They were in charge of the whole session. And it was really fun, and it was super silly, and there was a lot of laughing, a lot of giggling, and a lot of joking around, a lot of role-playing, no combat, and that's so nice, it was so nice. In the end, the play was about basically Calvin Candy, and he defeated Mango, aka Django, instead of the other way around. So Candy thought this was such a great play that he wanted these performers to come and perform at his house the following night with all of his most influential allies and friends there. So now they've got all of the bad guys gathered up in one place in the big house, which we have a map for. And then they're going to have this crazy shootout in this cramped ass mansion with all the bad guys on the island. I even went and grabbed some of my peeps from the hotel and brought them over here too, so that they wouldn't go to waste. So we got, yeah. So all I'm saying is, definitely like lean into the fun, right? If your group is throwing this curveball at you, just take a deep breath and roll with it. If you need a break, right? If you're not able to throw together an opera house, theater of the minded. If you need a few minutes to readjust your notes, take a 10-15 minute break. Get yourself, get your notes together. I understand. Trust me. I stream my prep every day for an hour lately, minimum, just so that I'm getting into like a routine and not prepping games in the middle of the night and all sorts of other craziness. There's a lot of prep involved when you are running a game, especially a virtual tabletop game with all the maps and assets and everything. It can be very frustrating to do all the prep and then have the area skipped or the area easily bypassed or the area is never discovered. Honestly, you hear it all the time. If everybody's having fun, you're playing D&D correctly. Yeah, like if everyone has fun, then you did a good job, right? Then you did a good job. And in this instance, leaning into the opera, right, and just sort of failing into success, even the parts of the opera that were terrible, even when when it was painfully terrible, it was still really fun, and that enjoyment and that fun and that participation. That's what fueled the encounter. That's what fueled the adventure. That's what pushed things forward to the next part. So yeah, it's been a good experience, and I just wanted to sort of point it out that sometimes you prep a whole bunch of cool stuff, and they go left instead of right, and sometimes left is so much better than right could have ever been. So just be ready for that and lean into it when it happens.